Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guy, and this is yet another episode of our first person series, and let's get started with today's video. So if you remember, in the last video we had this system where our weapon dynamically spawned at the correct position at runtime, and because the weapon is a child of the camera, we can just move our head around and it still looks perfect. And we have of course got the sun and everything here as well, so yeah, that's pretty nice. And we can also jump and go around, and well, we can't currently shoot the weapon or do anything of that sort, so yeah, that's the thing that we want to implement now. So how are we going to do that? So the first thing that I think that we should address is opening up our player script, of course, because that's where we are doing all of our shooting. And let's also open up the weapon script. Let it open it up in VS Code, and I'm going to press Ctrl P and also open up weapon.cs. And not really weapon.cs, that has already got an abstract void called shoot, and we have got here a override void called shoot in the test weapon class, which just debugs.log a statement. Now what we can do is we can go under update method. After handling all of the movement, we can say, oh come on, we can just say something like if input dot get button down, get let's say mouse button down, get button down, get key down. Is it get key or is it get button? It's get button down, and you are supposed to give it a button name. Let's just say shoot. I suppose if I use get, alright, get button down. That is nice. So once we have done that, what we can do is we can basically just call the weapon. We can just go in weapon dot, and we can call the shoot method here, and that should actually shoot the weapon. Alright, so with that we should go under edit and then project settings, because we actually need to do that. And then we need to go under our input manager, and we need to make sure that we have got an axis called shoot setup, which I'm going to just have this default fire 0. I'm going to rename that to shoot, and once you have done that, you can just hit play. And what you should see is that we can actually press the mouse button or left control to actually shoot, and you can see that we get a message down here. You can see in the console, each time I shoot I get a message. So now we need to implement the actual shooting. So the first thing I'm going to do to get started doing that is I'm going to actually go under my weapons, not really weapons, I'm going to go under my prefabs here, weapons, and I'm going to rename this test weapon to the pistol. Alright, and after done doing that, what I can do next is I can go under I am going to go under my scripts, and then weapons here. Well, let's just open up VS Code and try to find the weapons, test weapon script, and I'm going to rename this test weapon to be something like yeah, I'm going to just call it let's just call it raycast weapon, because this weapon is basically going to be a raycasting weapon and going to do nothing else. Oh come on, that's not what we wanted. Alright, we have got these two in a separate folder now for some reason, even though that's not what we wanted to do. We need to, okay, that's an empty folder, just delete that, and we need to rename this to, I'm going to call it hit scan weapon actually, and this is going to contain all of the, we can use this to basically create most of our weapons. And the first thing I'm going to do is up here, instead of just having an empty class. Oh, by the way, I need to rename the class as well. In Unity, the class and file name must exactly be the same, and I'm going to add a bunch of serialized fields here. So serialized field, serialized field. Okay, why is that attacking it? That's kind of weird. Alright, I'm going to just put a private float here, and just call it something like float, and let's just call it let's just call it shoot delay, because that will represent how much we delay before each shoot. And I'm going to just copy that and paste it here, no, here, and this is going to be called damage. And let's also add another one here, serialized field, and this is going to be a private float called range. And in the shoot method, we can actually implement the shooting using Unity's default raycasting system. By the way, make sure that you apply the hit scan weapon script to the actual pistol, and you need to make sure that the shoot delay, you can set it to something like 0.5 seconds, and for the damage I can set it to something like 10, and for the range just set it to, I want it to have almost infinite range, so I'm going to just set it to something like 512, or maybe just set it to 750. That's pretty accurate. And once you have done that, we can go under here and contain the definition. We have got a hit scan weapon.cs, but where is it? Alright, that should not happen. Well, we have got only one hit scan weapon, and I do not see that I have got any other hit scan weapon here. This is just giving some weird errors. VS Code is not really working right now, it seems. Let's see. Let's go under Unity and see if it gives an error. Well, it does not. That means that it is working. It's just VS Code's IntelliSense is a bit problematic. Yeah, that's not exactly working. So let's just close VS Code and reopen it, which should hopefully work. Okay, it was just trying to do everything again. Let's just open up our hit scan weapon now, and it should not give any errors. That sometimes happen, IntelliSense gives some problems. Anyways, in here what we want to do is we can go and say something like physics alright, physics dot raycast. Now what this does is it takes an origin, which is going to be our camera. So for this we will of course need a camera as well. So we will have a serialized okay, but let's just don't do that. Instead, let's open up our weapon.cs class, and in here let's just have a transform. We can just take a transform called camera as an argument, and then we can do that same thing in here. And what we can do now is we can just go under physics.raycast, or actually I just realized you don't need to do that. In order to get the main camera, you can just say something like camera dot main dot transform. Alright, because camera dot main gives you a camera. Alright, dot transform dot position. Alright, and with that we need to give it a direction. We will let's give it camera dot main dot transform dot forward. Actually, let's create a private camera, not private, what I'm doing here, this is inside the function, a camera called cam, and set it equal to camera dot main dot transform, a transform called camera, and then we can just go ahead in here and we can just use cam dot position and something like cam dot forward here. And for the max distance we can just use well, something like we can just give it our range that we had, and that's it. Now what this should allow us to do is that it should basically make it so that it should give us a return value of a boolean. Right now it's only giving a return value of a boolean, and we can do a check of an if on that. We can do like say if, and in here we actually want to apply the damage to whatever we hit. And let's go under and we want to actually get a output. So if I go is there an out raycast hit called hit, and hopefully that that function does exist. Not with the out keyword. Alright, let's open up the raycast function and see if it has got alright, origin, a direction, and a raycast hit, a direction, and well, we got like a float max instance as well. Alright, that's supposed to be before raycast hit. That's better. Yeah, that should actually work. And this now gives us a value of hit that we can use to determine whether the thing we hit actually can be damaged. Now we need to of course think up a damage system, but that's something that we will do in the next video. For now I'm just going to say debug.log hit.gameObject, come on, hit.game hit.collider.name, and let's just debug that. This should only do it if you actually hit, but I'm going to add a conditional check operator here just in case. Alright, you can't do that. Alright, I suppose. Alright, let's just go under Unity and let it compile. Now we can just hit play, provided that, and just make sure to double check all of your references, that the weapon and everything is set correctly. And if you do that, what you should see is that I can hit this button and it gives the name of the object, which is ground in this case. So yeah, that's working. Well, that's pretty much it for this video, and I will see you in the next video, in which we will add actual damaging, because right now we only print the name of the shooting the object that we shot. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.